A friend of mine was working on a job and he gave me this book. And at first I kind of thought, oh, it's like a self-help book, do you know what I mean? I don't want to read that. I read the first few pages and this guy was talking about what these scientists were talking about, this energy, connecting everything, and how in any religion that he's ever studied, Hinduism is the closest thing to what he's experienced of this energy. 2 days after that, I get a call from like you guys saying, do you want to come to India and study some Hinduism? And I was like, you know what's going on?
I don't believe in God.
That's Shiva's penis. It's a very odd-shaped penis.
Thinking about it is just doing me.
There's no way you'd catch me building a bonfire in my front room.
It feels like I've landed on Pluto.
Just like the 526 in Bolton.
My head is swimming. How could something this small understand that? I don't think it could. So they'll take his head off with one swipe.
Do I think I'm going to find God?
I don't know, what do you lot think?
My name is Paul Nicholls.
Paul Nicholls.
That's the one.
I joined EastEnders when I was 16 and I left when I was 17, and London's been my home ever since.
Cheers, thank you.
All my life, I've never really cared for religion.
I don't believe in God. I just don't like that word.
Don't really like organised religion. You sit in a pew for 5 minutes and say, I did this and I did this and I did this, and that makes everything all right, do you know what I mean? It pisses me off. I may not be religious, but I am willing to explore spirituality. If you've got an attitude of, this is what I am and this is how I live my life and I'm set in stone, then for me, I'd think that'd be pretty boring. One thing's for sure, I won't find any answers in London. People ain't got time for each other. Everyone's living in their head, they've got to get to wherever they're going. And if I come into central London, I find myself like rushing around. And I think, why are you rushing around? You've got nothing to do. You've got nowhere to go. Why are you rushing with everyone else? Oh dear, too much coffee. I don't believe in God, and the only religion I see on the streets of Britain is the cult of celebrity. You're walking past a newsstand and there's all these magazines, you know what I mean? And people are buying them, like following gossip about who's been where or whatever it is. I just feel like saying, don't fucking buy them! There must be more to life than this, but where am I going to find it? Just looking at stars at night, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of miles away, and there's millions and trillions of them, and we're this tiny little thing. There's got to be something. To find out if I'm right, I'm off to look for God in the birthplace of Hinduism and the home of gurus, India. Every time I've heard guru, it's always been in the terms of like loads of posh people sitting around some middle class guy preaching some religious tosh. That's what guru shouts to me. All I hope is just to get a bit of relaxation out of it, and it sounds like, you know, things that we've got planned, it sounds like it is all a bit, kind of just a bit relaxing.
Thank you, boss.
Excuse me, sir.
Wow. Here I am at New Delhi train station, and if anybody at home thinks London Euston is busy, then they've obviously never been to Delhi.
Check the reservation chart. Your train number 2017. This way, upstairs.
Apparently, people come to India to find themselves. I'm feeling quite lost. I really didn't expect it to be this busy. Sorry. And I didn't expect it to be cold, but that's because I know nothing about geography. Well, I'd hope to get a bit of peace and quiet.
Only 5 minutes more.
5 minutes?
If I make it onto the train on time, I'll be on my way to the sacred city of Rishikesh to meet my first guru, His Holiness Pujya Swamiji. It will be my first encounter with Hinduism. But gurus to me are just preachers who tell you how to behave. So I'm not sure this will be a successful start.
Can you have a fag on this train?
No, the whole train's no smoking.
And that's definitely not a successful start. I'm travelling 5.5 hours north of Delhi to one of India's most important pilgrimage sites, Rishikesh. It lies at the source of the river Ganges, Hinduism's most revered and holy river. As we're in the foothills of the Himalayas, it's going to be cold. but luckily Pujya Swamiji has sent me a warm welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
My first stopover and Pujya Swamiji's home, Paramath Nikatan Ashram. Rishikesh has over 300 ashrams or spiritual retreats.
Is this an ashram as well?
Religion is the biggest business in town, and everywhere you look there are holy men called sadhus.
Hey, you're looking at?
So far, I've little idea of what Hinduism is about, but they certainly seem to have a lot of gods.
So, Krishna,
Ganesh, and Lord Shiva.
and Lord Shiva.
Ganesh is called the son of Lord Shiva. This is Shiva family. Mr. Shiva, Mrs. Shiva, Master Shiva,
Baby Shiva.
baby Shiva, Ganesh. Lord Ganesh is the god of wealth. Treated.
The elephant man
Yes.
is the god of wealth. You had the swastika before the Nazis had the swastika. It belonged
Yes,
to
yes. But it,
to the Hindu
this
faith.
swastika is very several thousands years old.
several thousand years
But
old.
Mr. Hitler was very junior. You are from England?
Yeah, from Bolton. These are all baby Krishnas.
Right.
Every single one of them.
Everything is the same.
Look at his eyes.
Well, my first day in an ashram, and as I register, I find out that Pujya Swamiji has some tough ground rules. Alcohol is banned, there's a 10 o'clock curfew, and no smoking. Not sure if this will be a pleasure or a chore.
Yes, thank you.
So what's your name?
My name is Dikshit, R.K. Dikshit. Rajesh Kumar Dikshit.
Dikshit.
Yes, welcome your home.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
I feel like I've checked into a Hindu theme park, and the last thing I want to do is to get to grips with religion. After the chaos of Delhi and the long train journey, I just want to go to bed.
That bed looks so nice. I just want to get in it and just go to sleep. Wowzers.
Enlightenment comes after suffering.
Enlightenment comes after suffering. And after a couple of hours kip.
My name is Paul Nicholls, and I'm trying to get to grips with a religion that claims to have over 300 million gods, Hinduism, and so far, it's doing my head in.
What are you doing? Why are you picking on me?
I'm at the foothills of the Himalayas, in one of India's holiest cities, Rishikesh, to meet my first spiritual teacher, His Holiness Pujya Swamiji. He lived alone in a forest until he was 17. Hopefully, he will have some answers for me.
You couldn't tell us about Hinduism in its most basic kind of form.
Hinduism is one of the oldest traditions. It's not a religion. The whole purpose of this beautiful tradition is how to become a better person, how to lead a better life.
It's a tradition rather than any sort of rules.
Rules are there,
Right.
but to shape your life. The basic concept of Hinduism is you are not a sinner, you are divine.
No matter what,
No matter what.
no matter what you've committed, no matter what you've done.
Okay, God is one. It's called Brahman, supreme reality. And Hinduism explains beautifully, yes, whatever happens is will of God, but He has given the freedom of the will also. And it says, whatever you do, it comes back to you. It's karma. And if you do bad action, you have to pay for it. And if you do good things, you will feel happy. You will feel in peace.
But there's something inside me that just kind of almost wants to get drunk and smoke a lot of cigarettes and run around. And maybe I'm not that comfortable with being peaceful all the time. Do you ever feel like just saying, oh, figure it out for yourself kind of thing?
I never feel rebellious. I never say, deal with your own. That's why I'm here, my dear.
No, I believe you. I can see in your face that you really don't. You're a better man than me.
It's all go being a top spiritual guru, and Swamiji's keen to talk me through some holy paraphernalia.
The Lord Shiva is the symbol of grace and love. And he never goes back and opens the old files, the old records, what you have done in the past. He said, you are here, done, and you are forgiven and taken immediately. And that's why people in the villages, also in the small villages also, worship Lord Shiva.
Right.
It's wonderful.
And is this Shiva again?
Yes, yeah, it is another form of Shiva. It's called Nataraja. Nat means dance, and King Raja means king. The king of dance, who gave the dance to the world.
Dance of what?
Dance of life.
Dance of life.
Life is a dance, my dear. Life should become dance, not dull.
I've been told that I'm going to be coming with you tonight and experiencing a fire ceremony.
Let me tell you, my dear, this is so beautiful, so inspiring. It is a blessing to be there. You will love it.
Okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Every night, the crowds come to Swamiji's earthy fire ceremony to purge themselves of their sins.
It's very famous ritual, and it is performed before so many sacraments. From birth to death, everywhere this ceremony is performed. Inside we have so much pollution. Pollution of our anger, pollution of our grudges, our pain, our jealousies. All that in form of offering, we offer to the fire, because fire purifies whatever comes in contact, creates a divine energy. All impurities are burned. All negativity is burned. And what stays? Only light. What stays? Only peace and only love. And you become a new you.
But it seems we are only halfway through, and purging my sins is going to take a lot longer.
We all get together and we all go to perform this lighting ceremony. The essence of this ceremony is, O Lord, you have given us light of sun, light in our life. You are the source of this beautiful light. Now, in return, we give back to you this beautiful light of our devotion, and it's basically thanksgiving ceremony.
Not the most ordinary day I've ever had. It's blown my head a little bit, to be honest. He's a right nice fella, and he's just a really sweet guy. I don't really believe in a lot of what he was saying, but he's not a sham, and you can see when people are bullshitting, really, and he's not a bullshitter. When he was doing the fire ceremony, you wouldn't think that with all that music going on, everyone singing and stuff, but I did feel a bit, not like I was being touched by God like someone else had said, but it was one of the first times that I'd kind of forgot that you were filming me. I was just sitting there and I just kind of got a bit absorbed in what was going on and just forgot like you were there until he put this on. And then I remembered, oh, there's a camera, and I just started thinking, I get paid too much money to just stand in front of a camera and just talk, do you know what I mean? I don't really do anything that special, and it just felt like not worthy kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Do you know what I mean, though?
Another day, another ritual. The sacred thread ceremony is a rite of passage. It's usually only done for young Brahmins from the highest social class, but Swamiji chooses to perform it for all his boys. The ceremony takes place beside India's most sacred water, the river Ganges. Hindus go to the Ganges to wash away their sins, and the boys at Swamiji's ashram do it every morning. Baptism is an ancient rite in Hinduism, and one you engage in as often as possible. There are always new sins to wash off.
The first holy dip was just cold.
Come on, win.
I've got to go, so I've got to say goodbye.
Bye.
I'll see you later on. See you later, boys. Thank you very much.
Swimming. Morning swimming.
Morning swimming. No more swimming.
Well, that's 5-star Hinduism, with lots of pomp and ritual, but I still find it confusing. I've travelled over 1,000 miles south to the state of Tamil Nadu, where 90% of the 65 million locals are Hindus and far more orthodox than in the north. I'm off to Tiruvannamalai, an old temple town and pilgrimage site, devoted to the worship of the god Shiva. Shiva is one of the 3 main gods in Hinduism. He's worshipped as the destroyer of all things. Shiva is often represented as a lingam. This is a vertical stone shaft which represents the male phallus.
That's the lingam, and that's the Shiva. That's Shiva.
Pilgrims come to Tiruvannamalai in their thousands to pay homage to Mount Arunachala, which they regard as the embodiment of Shiva. For Hindus, going on a pilgrimage is like going on holiday. They make offerings to their god and hope to experience some kind of inner peace. I'm going on my first pilgrimage around the holy sites with my guide, Happy. Stage 1 is a visit to the hundreds of shrines at the base of Mount Arunachala. It's hard to imagine millions of pilgrims actually believe this mountain is Lord Shiva. It's hard to believe my guide's called Happy. Is that your real name?
I think so.
We're going around the mountain, aren't we? Hey up.
Yeah, I like to show you all the little shrines around here.
Yeah.
And temples, more than 400 temples around. In the last...
400?
400 in 15 miles. There are 8 main Shiva lingams are here, you know?
Is that essentially what people come for? When they take a trip around the mountain, they come to stop at each Shiva lingam temple?
Also, yeah, mainly those ones, and also they will visit all the little shrines around the temple.
Do you think the Westerners that come here, do you think there's something pushing them towards here, some form of pain? They're pushed to kind of find spirituality?
It's pain, but then it's also curiosity and to be into that state of realization and enlightenment.
Well, if I can relate it to me, you know, if I had any worries before I came here, the way I've seen certain people live out here, you can't help but kind of feel a sense of like, there's nothing to worry about, do you know what I mean? You know, sadhus living on the street, they've got no shoes, they rely on the charity of other human beings, but they seem quite content.
Many pilgrimages to Tiruvannamalai start with a special Shiva celebration. Happy is taking me to a local festival to give me a taste of what's to come.
Does this only happen once a year?
Once in a year, every year, around this time. It is a big day for the village all around nearby here, you know?
Right.
Some of the worshippers take it so seriously, they go to extraordinary lengths to show their devotion.
She's actually asked something to Lord Shiva, and then she would say, if that happened, good things happen, I'll be wearing this yellow dress for a week, and then I'll pierce the metal thing on my tongue to sacrifice.
She said a prayer to Shiva. She asked for something, and she said, if it comes true, I will appear at this festival with my face painted yellow, and I'll stick a fork through my tongue.
That's correct.
But she's not the only attraction. For a small fee, a sacred temple elephant will give you a blessing. After the festival, pilgrims travel around the mountain, making offerings at the various shrines and sacred sites along the way. First off, we're visiting a temple with 5 Shiva lingams and a holy man in a cave.
Come on. This is called Panchamukhi temple. Panchamukhi, that means 5 face lingams, which have 5 elements: water, fire, air, ether. There are 5 sacred temples in India for Lord Shiva.
There's 5 sacred temples in India for Lord Shiva. One of them's here.
Yeah.
So I go in and...
Yeah, with the cross hands. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, that's right.
So, every part. Right, get you. So, got to be touching your skin?
Yeah. You touch all the 5 elements. And also it's the way you look to the mountain, to the fire element up there, straight up there.
Yes.
That's Lord Arunachalesha. So it's just straight centric to these 5 elements towards the mountain.
Right, so you're giving thanks for the 5 elements? You're saying thank you?
Thank you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
It's
yeah.
a thank you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's also
Thank you very much.
This is the position where the sadhu, he always sit in this, you know.
The sadhu sits in there, yeah.
He sit in this asana.
Yes.
And most of his life he just sits here and looking towards the mountain. And
He comes out occasionally, obviously, but, but he spends most of his time in there.
Here, yeah. So why don't you get a blessing from the sadhu?
All right, what do I do?
A puja is an offering, India style. In this ritual, thanks are given to Shiva. The puja ends with a sadhu smearing holy ash on my forehead.
Is that the blessing?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is that his mobile?
This is the modern world of sadhus, very fast enlightenment through the satellites.
I've just held 5 Shiva lingams and I've been blessed by a semi-naked man with a stick. Whatever next.
So what exactly is this temple for?
This temple is actually, it's a very narrow wall temple. If you touch all part of the body towards both sides of the wall,
yes,
all sort of, you know, uncurable disease or any mental problem or any physical problem, it will remove. That's the whole idea, and there is a faith in that.
So, anything that could be seen as a problem, you go through here.
But except hair problem.
Except for the hair problem. It works on everything else.
Yeah, except hair.
Apart from the baldness. Right, okay.
You're getting a lot of hair.
My penis is growing by the minute.
But don't leave it there.
No, I won't leave it there.
Why are you coming to a face of Nandi?
Hiya, Nandi.
So the symbol in the center, it's called Om, and that's a Tamil Om. The round shape,
circle.
Yeah.
Om.
Yeah, that's one of the main important sound of every Hinduism. The sound itself is actually of the beginning of everything.
Right.
And it's also kind of the sound of ending, Om.
Right, it's a mantra as well. People use it as a mantra. I heard
It's a mantra itself.
Pujya Swamiji using it as a mantra.
Yeah. And it's also people use that sound to begin with a meditation, to bring their mind into quietness.
Right,
just chanting that sound of
silence.
Om. Yeah, and the sound itself is coming through your navel. So this is actually where the belly button is the beginning of the life. So the sound itself is rising from there towards your mind, towards every thought.
Do you use that as a mantra, Om?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Could you give us a little demonstration?
I can.
Go on then, Happy.
Om.
My Shiva pilgrimage is still proving confusing, but at least the mantra seems easy.
Is that how you do it?
I'm Paul Nicholls and I've travelled to the sacred town of Tiruvannamalai in southern India to see if Hinduism has anything to offer the godless me. The town is an ancient pilgrimage site for worshippers of Lord Shiva, the god of destruction. It is the only place Shiva takes the form of a mountain, and everywhere you look, there are shrines in his honour. But just to confuse you, not every shrine is devoted to Shiva.
This is Lord Ganesh, and every Hindu family in their house, first in the front side they keep always Lord Ganesh. It's always good luck, wealthy, all those sort of things.
They bring him good luck.
Yeah. And this is cow dung.
Wow.
They make it in this form and they keep it dry because they use it for fire. For the burial ground, these are the first thing they use on their body. The cow is holy, this is holy shit.
The other big attraction in town is Arunachala Temple. It is one of the largest in India and is about the size of 25 football pitches.
This is the main temple. And there's the main 4 gopurams, east, west, north, south.
Gopurams?
Gopurams.
What
that's
is it?
the tower.
The tower?
Yeah. And the right center, that's where the main shrine, the Shiva and Parvati. they have different sort of pujas going on and all that. But there's certain pujas early in the morning, there's one puja, and late in the evenings. And it is very intense, lots of bells, lots of, oil lamps and drumming and everything. We get up morning and we have breakfast and we have lunch, dinner. God also needs those sort of things.
So that's what a puja is, it's an offering to God.
Yeah.
The climax to my Shiva pilgrimage is a visit to the holiest Shaivite temple in all India, Arunachala Temple.
This is Lord Arunachaleshwara Temple.
Yes, this is the temple, and this is the...
Oh, this is our old friend.
Happy has arranged for the head priest of the temple to be our guide, Jai Ram Gurukul, better known as Swami. Swami is taking us to visit a shrine devoted to Tiruvannamalai's most famous holy man, Ramana Maharishi.
For 7 years, Ramana Maharishi performed tapasya in that place.
For 7 years?
7 years.
In that little corner.
Maharishi stayed in there, in isolation on his own?
Yeah.
Maharishi sat here meditating for 7 years and never spoke. Swami is doing a puja, which means an offering. Even I think it's an appropriate moment to pay my respects. Swami is now taking us into the inner sanctum for what Hindus call darshan, or seeing God. If they're right, I am actually going to come face to face with the one thing I thought I'd never believe in: God. No cameras are allowed inside this holiest of places, and the Swami is adamant we go in alone.
What I got a sense of was, because there were so many people inside that temple and the queues just to go and see the God were absolutely, they were phenomenal, weren't they? They were huge queues. And we stood in front of a woman and she got quite angry and said, "Can I move out of the way?"
Yeah.
And it was the first time I could see how important it was to people, because it was the first time I got a sense of how important it is to them.
I spoke to my girlfriend before on the phone, and she was saying she was walking around Brent Cross shopping centre, and it's Sunday and everyone's rushing in and out of shops, buying this, buying that. You don't get that here. It's just, it's not that. You see people buying what they need, but not in excess, do you know what I mean? And there is something, I don't know, there's just something there's just something that's a bit better here. I don't know what it is, but there is something.
It's next morning and I'm still taking in the temple visit of last night, but I'm late to meet my new spiritual mentor, Bhaskar Bhattacharya, who comes from a dynasty of Hindu scholars, and I'm late for a puja at the Swami's family home.
Supposed to be there at half... No, you're supposed to be there at 7 o'clock. It's 7:05 now. So basically, I'm late. I think it's impossible for me to have a spiritual experience because your brain just can't take it all in. Instead of it being quite a peaceful experience, it's just a bit mad. We're here now, and I don't know what, brain dead. I'm just gonna have to say sorry. What's his name?
Let's call him Swami.
Sorry, Swami. Very sorry. I'm half an hour late for your Pujya.
The majority of Hindu worship does not happen in the temple, but in people's houses every day. That's very early every day.
This is all part of a cleansing ritual. Before I go and meet Ganesh, who's the god of, well, he's Shiva's son, but I think he represents luck, to bring you good luck. The thumb and the ring finger. Yeah.
Pranayama, yoga.
Yaka.
Om 7 times.
Om. Om.
7 times.
Om. 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 Om.
7 times.
Om. My guess is that they don't do this in Catholic churches. I've got a little hunch that says that it's not the same as this. Can I have some fruit?
My latest spiritual mentor, Bhaskar, keeps me straight on what to do. Now that I've been cleansed, it seems I'm ready to make an offering to the god Ganesh.
Puja's done every morning because that's part of Hindu life. But instead of having a temple that they go to, it's like almost bringing the temple to their own house. In any prayer ceremony, they always start off with Ganesh because he removes obstacles. So if there's anything blocking your way to God, if you like, he'll get it out of the way first. So that's why they always start with Ganesh. Compare it to my life. I get up about 15 minutes before I've got to leave. I jump in the shower, have a quick fag, I try and eat something if I can, and then, you know, I'll get a quick coffee and I'm off. Do you know what I mean? I'm off running that fast that I don't really take in my day. This seems like they take a good 2 hours. Whether God comes into the life or not, I suppose, you're kind of setting yourself up for a more peaceful day, aren't you? Some people, they feel a bit low, they feel a bit whatever, they go to the gym, they go for a run, they go shopping, they go out and sleep with a woman, do you know what I mean? But whatever it is, I think everyone has got experience of quick fixes in their life. This tradition or religion is a way of not indulging in those quick fixes, because it seems to me that they believe that those quick fixes will only make your life worse. You know, they feel whatever they feel and go, well, it's only a feeling. There's something much greater going on. I think that's the point. I think that's what they're trying to say.
How do I grade Paul about his knowledge of Hinduism? Paul seems to be curious. He's interested in spirituality. Some of the basic things he's figured out, like the Trinity, the universal consciousness, he's able to figure out things for himself.
Oh, go that way. Sorry.
I think one of the things Paul will take back from here about Hinduism is that God and sex are not inseparable. In Britain, when you mention God, it almost means no sex. Here, God and sex are not contrary. I think he thinks of Hinduism as quite a playful religion as opposed to a somber, brooding religion. And I think what we have done is put him towards the religion first to understand the greater aspect within the culture, and now slowly he's going to find himself going more towards an individual awareness.
New Age Hinduism is all about the individual, and Bhaskar thinks it's time I give it a go. He's taken me to meet a guru or spiritual teacher called Radha. She certainly seems to be popular with the Western soul seekers.
Well, this is where it leads to Radha's place. Radha is someone I wanted you to meet.
Yes.
She's young, she's eloquent, and I find her quite gorgeous. She started off as a chartered accountant in a sort of worldly life, and then she started having trances, convulsions, ruptures, you know, in which she'd go off for hours, and then they would have to warm her up and bring her back into a state of consciousness within the body. So then she decided that she took
hang on a minute. But she was at work?
Yeah, and she would see a picture of a god, or smell some incense, and she'd quickly get possessed and go into a trance, and the body would be totally cold, like a corpse's body.
She's not going to do that today, is she? Because we won't get much out of her.
But she might.
Won't be able to ask her any questions.
Well, she might if she feels inspired, or God suddenly decides to descend from above and strike her.
Not many people like me. Because I'm made for this. I'm all the time laughing. That's one of the complaints. I laugh at everything. That's one of the complaints. So people who want to be miserable go to him naturally. They are not comfortable with me. People want to laugh, they come here because they don't want to be miserable.
What if there's a name for this kind of setup here? What is it? What's it called?
Satsang?
Satsang, yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm forced to do it.
You're forced to do it?
Yes. Others people come to me all the day. I just give them 2 days in a week and I'm just doing it, meeting people here.
Do you never feel like saying, go away, leave me alone?
No, I can't say that really.
But do you ever feel like saying that?
No.
Yeah.
That's a secret.
It may all be very jolly, but I don't feel comfortable around these spiritual travellers.
No human being gave you this experience, did they?
No.
No human being made you see things the way you see things now.
Yes.
So why do you think people come to you to try and get it from a human being rather than get it from their own experience?
I don't know why they come here actually. Maybe their gurus are too busy or they're not talking terms.
But why do you think people go to gurus though?
I'm a freak case.
A freak
It's not,
case?
yeah. It's
Right,
not
right.
that natural law that people... See, God can't come in his... Whatever way you imagine God, he never comes to you in his form. He came like a Jesus, let us say. He came as a human form to help you. See, he came as gurus to help you. The true guru will feel the same way. He'll never see himself as a guru. He'll see himself as just a friend helping others.
It seems like you're a very happy person and very, at peace and stuff, and you can laugh at yourself. Do you know what I mean? You can laugh at everything, and it seems to me that if I had that in my life, if I had that sincerity, I wouldn't really want to have people asking you questions all the time about how do you achieve this and how do you achieve that. It seems like they want more than you can give them, and for me, that'd piss me off.
So far off the truth. You just asked the question of what is it that goes on here in this exchange, and it goes beyond the excitement of life. That's very special.
Oh, I'm just saying what I see, do you know what I mean? I see a woman that's very happy and I see someone that's trying to pull something out of her, do you know what I mean? That's what I see.
What is your greatest desire? What would you be out doing if you could do anything you wanted today? Anything?
Parachute jump, maybe?
Can you imagine that something could be much more powerful and much more beautiful than 100 parachute jumps?
See, to me, right, I'm not being horrible, I'm not being funny, but you just seem quite egotistical. You seem like you need to know more than everyone else. And that, to me, seems the exact opposite of what this is supposed to be about. Radha said she believes in God, but that God doesn't care whether you believe in him or not. But if there is a God, how can my mind, which is just a human being's mind, understand something that supposedly created the universe, and we don't even know how fucking big it is, and created this world? How could something this small understand that? I don't think it could. So you can't understand it up here, but you can feel it. That's the sense that I've got from this thing. People say, you get a sense of peace. So if God is a feeling, then is that not the same feeling that people get at home when they're doing whatever they enjoy doing? Be it at a football match, or be it having a game of cards with their mates, or be it whatever they're doing. I'm just sceptical of people that say that they understand God and that they know God and that they've got God in their lives. I don't believe it. Baski said, have you ever thought about God this much? No.
Having checked out both traditional and New Age Hinduism, my spiritual mentor Bhaskar wants to show me his favourite, the worship of the bloodthirsty goddess Kali.
Babu, to the Kali temple.
Kali represents the dark feminine side of Shiva. Having created the universe, Hindus believe she protects it from evil. Once a week, worshippers of Kali come to the temple to perform pujas and offer sacrifice to their goddess.
Let's go. Don't get too surprised or shocked.
Why? What we're going to see?
Hello? You'll find out.
You're scaring me.
Well, don't be scared. Kali is there to protect you. This happens every Friday.
Every Friday this goes down?
Yeah. And people come hoping to pass their exams, hoping to get a better job.
That's why they come and visit Kali?
Yeah, or if they're taking a vow of something like that they would want a son, and the son has arrived, and they come here to thank the god. It's a son and not a daughter.
All right, so they prayed for a son, they have a son, and then they come back and say, thank you very much, Kali.
For the son.
Right, and they offer something to Kali?
They offer something to Kali.
So what do they offer to Kali? They offer rice, food?
They offer rice, food, and blood.
They offer blood? Whose blood? Hey up, they're not going to do this little fella, are they? Oh shit, I can't watch it.
At the moment he's being blessed, and I'm offering the sort of token amount to the guy who's going to do the sacrifice, who's going to cut the head off. You've seen the arati being done, right? We're waiting for him to shiver, because then the water is spread, so it's now holy water that's being sprinkled on everyone. He represents the sort of very brute mind, the mundane body of consciousness.
Oh shit.
Okay, now.
Sorry.
You've been blessed. Well, now let's follow and see what happens.
I can't watch this.
Paul, you've got to go through this. For many, this is the unacceptable face of Hinduism, you know. I mean, for a lot of Hindus, you know, they don't believe in this, they find it disgusting. And it has to be done in one fell swoop, because two hits and it's considered inauspicious. So let's hope it's...
So they take his head off with one swipe?
Oh! Done.
It's still moving and it's not even got its head on. What's all that about?
Sorry to put you through this, Paul. You might as well see another side of Hinduism. And this is a very sort of primitive, primal ritual. This is not the gilded Hinduism of, say, Rishikesh, gold, beautiful flowers, lights. This is raw, very raw.
Yeah.
It's nearing the end of my search, and I have to admit, I didn't get God with Kali worship. But Bhaskar's not giving up on me yet. Hindu gurus go to the forest to deepen their connection with God through meditation. Bhaskar has persuaded Radha to take me on a retreat into the Tamil Nadu wilderness to see if it works for me.
You have to be in solitude, be with yourself, and without any external interference, you have to contemplate. That's the reason for this whole trip.
Right.
Can you close your eyes?
Close my eyes, yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to leave you now.
You're going to leave me?
Yeah, you have to contemplate. I'll come back after some time. Tell me what you really understood from this trip. What you really got from this trip.
Right. Okay, so think about what I've really gained from this trip.
Yes.
I know that already.
No, I didn't.
It's starting to dawn on me. Maybe some of the answers to the big questions were far simpler than I thought. Maybe it's just about finding peace within myself.
I landed in Delhi, and I went from Delhi to Rishikesh, and then from Rishikesh to Tiruvannamalai. And it was kind of non-stop and very busy, and then we kind of come here and it's really peaceful, it's really still, and it just feels like, oh, you know, finally just having a bit of a breather. Could spirituality not be as simple as just having a breather?
Spirituality is simple, very simple.
It is a simple thing.
It's simple. All you have to know, you don't have to trust in God, you don't have to trust in anything. That's the whole thing about spirituality. God or religion doesn't have any business here.
So spirituality, you don't have to believe in God.
No.
It's got nothing to do with God.
No.
It's got nothing to do with religion.
No.
What it actually is just being aware of how you think, what you feel.
Yeah. Spirituality is just being honest with yourself.
thought I was going to get a bit of a holiday, and I got here, and I've not had an holiday. I've had a crazy, crazy time finding out about Hinduism and talking about God and talking about spirituality. And is there a God and isn't there a God? And oh my God!
I think what he's arrived at after his time in India is the concept that religion is a different game from spirituality.
You know, Radha, she was just saying tradition and religion doesn't really matter as long as you can be all right with what you are and who you are. And if you can find a bit of peace in that as well, then you have got a sense of whatever you want to call it, God or spirit. And that made more sense to me than praying to some sort of God.
He sees spirituality as happiness, nothing more than that. But I think if he pursues that exploration, he'll find it more than happiness. It is be able to live, to be able to deal with the ups and downs of life. I think he has taken some thing back with him, some coping mechanisms.
Learning to kind of just be with yourself a bit more. You know, instead of turning the TV on as soon as I walk in, you know, or maybe not turn the TV on and just have 10 minutes to myself and just relax. So yeah, I could take some of that into me world, into my life. But not religion, because it don't make any sense to me.
He feels that the pressure is on, that to understand Hinduism, he has to believe in Hinduism.
You can't, can you?
No one really wants him to be a Hindu. We are not into the conversion game.
Religion, no. Spirituality, or just being with yourself a bit more. You come in.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I could have a bit of that.
Whether Paul realizes or not, this experience will be with him for time to come. It may seem that when he gets back to England and he's doing a movie, doing a play, all those things, and this will sort of wash away. But perhaps in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years' time, there will be a seed, a kernel of a memory, which he will remember very fondly and poignantly.